legends, Fraser Brooks here, and in this video I want to share with you how you can generate leads on demand for your online business. Okay, so if you think back to 20, 30 years ago, even before social media, the hardest thing for people to do was to generate a lead. In fact, if I asked my dad who had his business and say, hey dad, what was the problem, the struggle, and the challenge that you had? He would say, I always ran out of people to talk to. And everyone who I had in my business as well had the same problem. And now on social media, that is not an issue. So in this video, I want to share with you how you can never run out of people to talk to, how you can generate leads on demand so that you can build a business and scale that business to give you financial and time freedom. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about the importance of generating a lead, especially inside of the network marketing profession. So if we think about it, if we take our funnel, then it's generating a lead, building a relationship, seeing if they're open, qualifying those people, getting them in front of some information, following up, closing, and launching. How can we launch someone if we don't go right back to the beginning? So if you want to reverse engineer it, in order to launch someone, you've got to close them. In order to close someone, you've got to follow up with them. In order to follow up with them, you've got to get a tool in front of them. In order to get someone in front of the tool, you've got to qualify. In order to get someone to qualify, you've got to get, and so on and so on and so forth, until you get to right at the beginning. If you don't have someone to talk to, you will not be able to launch someone. So generating a lead is super, super, super important. And without it, we can't go further in the process. But there's one really big problem here because we need to define who our target market is. Who is our perfect lead? There was the time back 10, 20, 30 years ago and beyond where it was like anyone who could walk and breathe. That was it. That was the lead. But now it's a little bit different. If you go and ask people who have the jobs and they work the 9 to 5, what do they dislike the most about their job? A lot of people will say who they work with. And then Zig Ziglar says you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. So in network marketing, we get to pick and choose who we work with. So shouldn't we define who that person looks like, what that person is? What are their hobbies? What are their interests? Who are they? So we need to define who our target market is. So you can't just generate a lead just pick anyone. That might get you a certain distance in the business and it might get you some success. But for long-term sustainable success, we need to define who our ideal prospect is, what kind of person is that in terms of a lead, and then what we've got to do on social media in order to get our message in front of that person. So you know the importance of a lead. We know that we've got to define our target market, and your target market is usually you. What makes you? If you're a single male, then you're looking for single males. If you're interested in golf, you're looking for people who are also interested in golf. Even though it doesn't matter if it doesn't relate to your product or your service or your business. You might have a massive interest in yoga, but then you're selling skincare. And you maybe think, well, how does that combine? But it doesn't matter because when you generate leads on your terms, on your tribe, based around what you're talking about, you will win because the conversations you have are real, genuine, and sincere. Okay, so one thing that most people don't do is create what we call a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is simply a magnet to generate a lead or a magnet that makes the lead go, ooh, 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 I need to give this person my information so I can get that. So examples of lead magnets could be guides, they could be ebooks, they could be video series, they could be an audio book, something that someone is going to get for free so that you can establish and formalize the idea that this person is now officially a lead, someone who I can nurture, someone who I can develop a relationship with, someone who I can follow up with day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, until they say yes. You've probably heard this before. It takes the average person 7 or 8 exposures in order for them to actually decide to join and buy your product, service, or join your business. And that is even crazier on social media. It's more like 30 to 40 exposures. So how are we able to do that? So we create what's called a lead magnet. The simplest version that you can do right now, although you can leverage AI with websites and softwares like Designer, or you can use Canva, you can go onto Upwork and pay someone. Here's what I recommend you do. Just go into the notes section of your phone, write a headline for this lead magnet, the 37 scripts, the 27 foods to eat, my top 10 food recipes, my skincare regime, whatever, and then just write 1, boom, 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 2, boom, 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 3, boom, 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 as many as you need to, and then take a screenshot of it. It will then go into your camera roll, open up that on your camera roll, make sure it's in your favorites, and then anytime someone says they want the free guide, then either they're going to give you their name, their email address, and then you send it to them, or they could simply say, hey, I'm really interested in the guide, so that you know that they're interested in knowing more on how to improve their golf swing, or knowing more on how they can lose some weight, or getting some information on how they can improve their skincare. Whatever it might be, whatever it is that lead magnet is. And as soon as you send it over to them, you follow up with them a day after, a week after, a month after, whatever your follow-up process is. Now you have an official lead, but it's very difficult to do that if you don't have a lead magnet. Okay, so generating leads is great. Formalizing the lead process is amazing, but we need to have that process and system in place. Now, I have done a video before about the kind of process, the journey you need to take someone on, especially on social media, in order for you to get a sale. I mentioned it earlier, the whole kind of lead, build a relationship, ask them a question, qualify, and so on and so forth. So you need to really decide what your sales process is. You really need to understand and appreciate, once I've generated the lead and I've given them my lead magnet, what am I going to say in my follow-up? How often am I going to follow up with people? What content am I now going to create? Am I going to create some content and share it with that person? If you're not already doing this, it's one of the keys to success when it comes to follow-up. Don't rely on the algorithm to follow up for you. Rely on you creating the right content that you know is going to be perfect for Bob, your prospect. You know is going to be perfect for Jane, your lead. And then share it with them. So you do a reel, you do a story, you do a post, and then you're going to hit the share button in the messenger to your prospects. Maybe there's 5, there's 10, there's 20. Heck, there might be 300 people that you want to share it. Hey Bob, was thinking of you, hope this can help. Because when you become a person of value, when you become a resource for others, the lead doesn't just look at you as someone who kind of can help them out. They look at you as someone who's like, wow, this person really wants me to win. This person really actually cares. That is the key to a sales process. In fact, selling is a series of mini sales. You're selling them to get the lead magnet. You're selling them to watch a video. You're selling them to reply to your message. You're selling them to watch another video. You're selling them to get into a follow-up conversation. You're selling them to get them to actually reply to your questions. Selling is a series of mini sales. Okay, so one question I get asked a lot is, Fraser, this is all fine and great, but how do I automate this process? Well, there are two things that I would really talk about when it comes to automating. And please understand that, especially in the network marketing space, we will never get overrun by AI. We will never get overrun by tools and systems and softwares, because the human element is super, super important and fundamental to the entire process. But there are two things. Number one is a software called ManyChat. You can go to manychat.com and get a free account to start with on there. The second one is a CRM. It could be ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, anything other than MailChimp. Just stay well away from MailChimp. For some reason, they don't like network marketing, so they're lost. They're not going to get thousands of people signing up to their email software. So again, ActiveCampaign or GetResponse, those are the two that I usually recommend. There's no affiliate links here. Just go to their websites. And then manychat.com, again, no affiliates, just go to their website and sign up. Now, manychat.com is great because you can link it with your Facebook and Instagram. So what you can do is you can go live and say like, hey, if you would like my 37 scripts to ABC, or if you would like my 10 top golf swing techniques, you would like my top 3 home recipes that the kids love to help us lose weight, whatever, then type in yes in the chat. Now, it could be when you're going live on Facebook, it could be when you're going live on Instagram, it could be on a Facebook reel, an Instagram reel. You get to choose. You get to choose the keyword, you get to choose the post that you've made or on all posts, and then you get to say what you're actually going to send to that person. So instead of you sat there in your inbox replying to all these people, you're then going to get people automatically getting the information, and you can see all the people who have replied yes, 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 so that you're able to follow up with them. Now, the email software is a little bit more structured and strict, and it's harder to set up. It's more complicated. However, you own the email list. You don't own the people who are on it, but you own the data that you have along with your email list, so that you can, if the social media sphere just decided to disintegrate and quit, and all the social media kind of gurus got together and was like, social media is dying, we don't want to use this anymore, you could still be the one crushing it, because you're going to be the one who's going to be able to communicate through email. All right? So building an email list is an asset, because you can then say, you can build it through Facebook, right? So your link in your bio, or you could mention it through ManyChat and everyone just subscribes through Facebook. And then you go, you know what? I'm gonna launch a YouTube channel. Who do you launch a YouTube channel to? Your email list. So when you have someone on ManyChat or when you have someone on your email list, that is now a formalized lead that you can write an email to or send a message to on ManyChat every single day, every single week, every single month, until one day they fall in love with you. They love the fact that you are good at what you do, and they love the fact that you can help them and you actually care to help them. Therefore, they will buy from you. So in closing this video, I've just got to share something called the Rule of 10. The Rule of 10 states that if you can provide 10 times the amount of value to the person who you want to get into your business or buy your product, then it will become a no-brainer for them to invest 10 times less. All right? So if your product, your service, your opportunity is $100, $200, let's say $200 for this example, then you got to look to give that person $2,000 worth of information, of value, of helps, of tips, of insights, of perspective, until they will then say, you know what, $200 is an absolute no-brainer. I've had way more of that already without paying. So understand that in order to generate a lead, in order to progress that lead, in order to make a sale and convert that lead, you have to get super good at giving away stuff for free, generating value that people can learn from, and making it super simple for people to join your world. So I hope you got value from that. If you did, do me a massive favor, give me a thumbs up, smash the subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you on an upcoming video super soon. All right, bye-bye.